Hey everybody, welcome back to this video where I teach you how to structure out your meal plan and how to time them out throughout the day. As in this meal plan structure, we'll be having 5 meals throughout the whole day. And this means that there's no intermittent fasting. And it also means that if you're the type of person that skips breakfast, eat light lunches, just kind of snack throughout the day until work is over, we'll be eating more food as mentioned. So I know a lot of people skip breakfast and just kind of have that structure, but I guarantee you not eating enough is one of the reasons you're not losing weight, because your body's not working to its optimal performance. And so in this meal structure, we're going to have 5 meals throughout the day. And what I like to do is have my first meal around 9 o'clock in the morning, then noon, then 3, then 6, then my last meal is 9 o'clock at night. So I try to keep all my meals 3 hours apart. And I kind of go over this in my lifestyle tips, which is another video, but I keep all my meals at least 2 hours apart, but no more than 4 hours apart. So that way your body is just humming all day long and keeps your metabolism up. So I just aim for 3 hours. Every 3 hours I have a meal. But I also eat only when I'm hungry too. So that's also another specific thing that I do. But that's all lifestyle tips. This is all about your meal structure and how we're gonna create the meal plan specific for you to lose weight. So as mentioned, we'll be eating 5 meals throughout the day. And in this scenario, I'm gonna use 150 pounds as the ideal weight. And so in this scenario, 150 grams of protein is our goal, 75 carbs and 50 grams of fat. And that's our tailored diet plan. So whatever your ideal weight is, if it's 120, 180, even 210, just follow along with this formula and you'll get it. It's really easy. So, but basically you're gonna take your proteins, your protein allowance for the day, you're gonna divide that by 5 because we have 5 meals throughout the day. And so you take 150, divide that by 5, that's 30 grams of protein in every single meal. So when you plan out your meals for the day or whatever, and I'm gonna show you how to do all this stuff, but it's super impractical to hit 30 grams of protein in every single meal. For instance, my breakfast might be 35 grams of protein, but then my second meal might be 25 grams of protein. But so that kind of balances out. But throughout the day, even my fourth meal, if it's yogurt with protein powder, that might be 40 grams of protein, but the meal before that might be 20. So what matters is at the end of the day, you're hitting your total numbers. So, but aim for the average amount, so that way you're at least on track throughout the whole day and it's not imbalanced. So you don't want to skip 4 meals, then have one big meal at the end of the day that's 150 grams of protein and just one big meal throughout the day. That's not what we're doing here. We're spreading everything out throughout the whole day, so that way your metabolism is up, your insulin levels can stay level, and you can keep burning fat all day long. So you'll be eating moderate breakfasts, big lunches, even a third meal at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, another meal at 6, another meal at 9, if that's the way you go. Maybe you might be eating breakfast at 7 a.m., then a second breakfast at 10 a.m., then your first lunch at 1 o'clock. It all depends on you, but this is just kind of an average of what to aim for. So, but getting back to the numbers, so you're gonna take your 5 meals throughout the day, divide that by 5 for your protein. You aim for 30 grams of protein in every single meal. Now when it comes to carbs though, my first 3 meals are gonna have all my carbs in them, and my last 2 meals, I have 0. I aim for no carb meals, but some of them will be low carb meals. For instance, if I'm gonna have a protein shake, for instance, with some milk or whatever, there might be 7 carbs in the milk, there might be 2 carbs in the whey protein itself. So that's 9 carbs, but it's a low carb meal option. So I'm just saying your last 2 meals can be low carb or no carb, but we aim for 0 just because we're rounding down, just trying to make this an average thing. So in your first 3 meals though, take your carbs, divide that by 3, and that's gonna be the carbs you're gonna aim for your first 3 meals. So that's, in this scenario, we're gonna have 25 carbs, 25 carbs, 25 carbs for the first 3 meals, 0 carbs, 0 carbs for the last 2 meals. And so when it comes to carbs, just to give you an idea of what this looks like 25 carbs, that's basically 1 donut is 20 carbs. So you can literally have 20, you can have 3 donuts throughout the whole day, breakfast, lunch, and your third meal, and still lose weight because you're hitting 60 carbs, and you're still below your carb allowance for the day. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, when it comes to eating, a lot of people just eat carbs and they forget about the protein. I don't know why, but like maybe it's just, I want to say too expensive, maybe it's just too hard to eat, because like 30 grams of protein is a lot more food than 25 carbs. So I mean, but just to give you an idea of what protein's like, 5 ounces of chicken breast or 5 ounces of shrimp or 5 ounces of bison or salmon, on average, you got 25 grams of protein and 5 ounces of meat protein. So, and then you get a few grams of protein from your carbs too. So, but we'll discuss that later in like the meal planning on how we work that out. But this is just the structure. So when it comes to your fats, we're going to divide your fat allowance by 5, and on average, we're going to have 10 grams of fat in all 5 meals. So this is just an average. And like I said, like if you were to have egg whites with your breakfast, and then you cook your egg whites in a tablespoon of butter. A tablespoon of butter has like 14 grams of fat in it. So you're already above the allowance, which just means like somewhere down the line, you're gonna have a lower fat meal. But just aim for 10 or whatever your average is that we're aiming for throughout the day. So that way you're just evenly spread out through the whole day. So as mentioned, I keep all my carbs before 4 p.m. if we can help it. But our first 3 meals will have all our carbs in it, and then the last 2 meals will have no carbs in it. Now, the other reason we do this is because like have your carbs throughout the day, is so that way you have lots of energy. I mean, you got a lot of serotonin in your brain, so you're in a good mood. You have energy to complete your tasks. Even if you have to go to the gym after work, and let's just say at that 6 p.m. or whatever, you just had a bunch of carbs throughout the day. So you have the energy to go to the gym and actually make that happen. So if you have low fatigue, or if you just have that energy crash later today, it's because you're not eating enough. So have enough carbs throughout the whole day, so that way you can have the energy to do what you got to do. And then not only that, at noon is when your metabolism is at its highest. So like between morning time and then up until the sun sets, that's when your metabolism is at its highest. But at noon is peak time. So basically lunch is what we aim for noon. So like if you want to have even a bigger lunch around this time, have the bulk of your calories in this section of the day, that's more than fine. But just don't have your last meal be the biggest meal. That's one of the worst things you could do. You want to have your biggest meals throughout the day and aim for noon to be like prime time. So that way, even breakfast could be a big breakfast too. But throughout the day, just taper off your meals as you go along. So as mentioned, like your metabolism is at its highest around noon until sundown or sunset, and then that's why we kind of have lower carb meals later in the day, because you don't need the carbs, because you don't have time to burn off those calories. If you have all your carbs during the day, you have time to burn off those calories. But over here later in the day, you're gonna be going to bed soon, the sun's going down, your metabolism is slowing down. There's no need to take in 100 carbs or whatever it's going to be later in the day, because you just don't need it. You need your carbs during the day. So that's what I stick to, and that's a theory. And like, just practice this, and trust me, it's going to help you with your moods, with your energy levels, and you're getting a lot of stuff done. And like I said, you could even go to the gym after work and have the energy to actually make that happen. So in this scenario of 150 pounds as your ideal weight, and this is the meal structure as the protein, carbs, and fats that we're aiming for, this is a total calories of 1,350. So 1,350 calories throughout the day. And so just to kind of reiterate, if you skip breakfast and have light lunches and just have little snacks at work, then you have a big meal at the end of the day, like that's around 600 to 700 calories. So like you can literally eat twice as much and lose weight. And so this is 1,350 calories. And so this is going to have you still in a calorie deficit. So basically you'll be in a good zone to get enough nutrients. To 150 grams of protein, that's enough protein to nourish your muscles. Like you got enough carbs to give you enough energy, you get enough fat to give you some satiety. And so keep your, gives you some great meat options too. You don't have to eat low fat protein, like 99% fat free chicken breast all day long. You can literally have bison, salmon, or cook your shrimp and butter and cook your eggs in butter. You have lots of options when it comes to eating. So this is not a low-fat diet. It's also not a low-carb diet either. Everything is just moderate right here. So it's just completely balanced. So, but going back to it, you're still in a calorie deficit eating this protein, carb, and fat structure. But like I said, like once you get down to your ideal weight, once you get down to where you want to be, you can add in another meal to your day. So like you can have a 6th meal right here. And so in this meal right here, 30 grams of protein, 25 carbs, 10 grams of fat, that's 310 calories. I know a lot of people don't want to count calories, but just once you know what you're doing, like you don't have to do it again. Like I don't have to ever do that math equation again because I know what this is. So counting calories is not hard. Just know what you're doing, and then you just get easier. It gets easier and easier as you go. But anyways, what I say is 1,350 calories, that's still in a calorie deficit. So once you want to stop losing weight, just add in one more meal. So like one more meal, 310 more calories is going to put you at 1,600 calories for the day. So like if you're not going to the gym, like, and you're just, if you're one of those people that's not going to the gym and you're losing weight on your diet, you can still add in one more meal just to stop the weight loss process. And now you're eating more and you're at your ideal weight. And from there on, you can just maintain your weight as long as you're, keeping track, weighing yourself every morning, making sure you're like where you want to be. So, but I kind of suggest like if your goal is to weigh 120 pounds, add in 400 more calories throughout your day. If your goal is to be 150 pounds, make your additional meal to stop the weight loss process to be 500 calories. If you're aiming for 180, maybe add 600 calories. So it all depends on how big you are or how small you are. But typically, like even right here, if I were to add in one more meal, 110 more calories, we're at 1,600 calories. So 1,660 calories for the day. And so that's basically your maintenance level to stop the weight loss process and just stay and maintain where you want to be at. So that's where I'm at right now, and I have a 6th meal throughout the day. And then if you go to the gym, here's the other thing too. If you go to the gym, if you're lifting weights, if you're doing cardio, you're burning off 500 calories every time you go. So I mean, that's just another reason to keep going to the gym, just keep burning off those calories more and more. But if you're gonna just kind of take it easy, I mean, at least go do cardio every morning, and if maybe you can do a little bit of weights here and there. But I'm just suggesting do some weights to get some tone in your muscle or whatever. And again, like it's being thin enough is what makes muscle separation and get all the tone looks great. So I mean, that's what it takes to look good. There's a lot of people in the gym that are way bigger than me, that are lifting 3 times more than me, but because they're at 20% body fat, you can't see any muscle definition. So when you look at me, it's like I look fit and I look strong, but I'm just saying it's all because of the leanness that you can see the muscle separation. So, but I just want to encourage you to go to the gym, but I know a lot of people are not here to go to the gym, but I'm hoping you do, because I have a whole series of videos on exercises that I do for muscle separation that gets you like maximum, like basically formation on how to get round shoulders, how to get chest separation. It makes you look bigger right away. And you don't do this by bench press and doing, military presses. There's certain exercises that I do to make muscle separation happen. So all that happens when you're lean enough. And so, but on this diet, you'll be in a calorie deficit all day long. And even if you're the type of person that just goes to the office, you can still lose weight as long as you're just sticking to the plan. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to work in these numbers into a diet plan to where it's going to work out for you. So if you like to eat chocolate and cheesecake, pizza, etc., whatever, I'm not always promoting that, but I'm just saying I know a lot of people like their foods. So, but I'm going to show you my meal plans, what I do, and I still eat chocolate every day. That's just my go-to. But I'm going to show you how you can work out these numbers so that way you can still eat your favorite foods and lose weight. So I'll see you in the next video when we get down to the meal planning and show you how you can make this all happen for yourself.